Bama softball and baseball making some noise in the postseason. There's some college football rules being proposed by Congress that could change everything. We'll get into that as well. Bama football getting closer and closer to the start of football. It feels like it's coming. That's Jake Coker. I'm Nick Gillespie. Let's get this party started. All right, there. I thought, what are you doing over there? You finally get your shirts up on the wall, and then I got cups in the way. You know, you're like kind of dunking in and out.
I'm getting the office right this week, so
we'll get some internet up there because you're kind of glitchy today, but it looks good, man. I love those jerseys. Move out of the way. Let me see what you got. I know there's the national championship jersey.
I got the Tennessee football from the one I stole from Derek.
Oh, nice.
The old helmet there. Last game in Bryant-Denny. First college touchdown to Kelvin Benjamin.
Nice.
September 8th, 2012. Yeah, like 14 years ago.
Yeah.
A bunch of old playbooks and some jerseys. Back when Reese's was the Senior Bowl sponsor.
Yeah.
And the old captain's jersey. And then, they do these paintings for, or they did back when there's Bryant-Denny. And then they did these paintings. That's the Alabama-Georgia painting, obviously. But they did these paintings back when I was playing, like basically I don't know, call it a mural, whatever you want to say, but like a recap of the game, and they'd always hang them in the hallway where everybody could see it after the game, and then
right.
you'd get whoever was on there got the poster. And that game was, between the Cotton Bowl, Georgia, national champion, that was my favorite regular season game of the year that year. We went down to Georgia and in the rain as an underdog and just wore them out. All that trash talk walking into that stadium. Everybody dogging us after the Ole Miss loss. Walk in there and just beat them 38-10 was probably the most satisfying game I can remember.
I was there with Mike Johnson and I think Baron Huber and all of us. We did the tailgate show there while you were playing. That's how long the tailgate show's been going.
That's crazy.
And I just remember, I've told you guys this before. I just gotten my boots, brand new pair of boots. I just got them there. They were made out in Arizona when I was there for spring training. They were brand new. I was wearing them, and it rained so hard, and I had to get out of there. And I remember like the water was coming down off of the stairs in that place like it was a fountain.
Uh-huh.
And then I had to go do the post-game show, and my boots got stuck on my feet. Because I had to go straight to work. And when I finally got done the shows and those boots came off, they're the best boots ever. Like I resold the boots for more than the boots cost me to buy because of that game. Like, I'm like, no, I'm keeping these boots the rest of my life. Every time I see them, I think of that ass whooping that you boys put on Georgia that day, and what a great time that was.
That run right there in that picture, that's when I scored the touchdown on the goal line, is the old Peyton Manning sneak. I don't know if you remember that one. But
the naked boot thing.
Oh yeah. But the funny thing was, I remember it was funny because in the Senior Bowl I played. Me and Jake Gaines were teammates, and Jake was a linebacker at Georgia, and I remember Lane was like, "Hey, so what you want to do here is you want to walk out to Calvin, because Calvin was the wide out on the left side." And he wanted me to start talking to Calvin about who to block. Like, hey, this is, so that the defense could hear me say, hey, this is a run play. Calvin, you need to go block that guy, you know?
Right.
And I made sure I was like making sure Jake Gaines saw me, but not, try to be secretive, but say it just loud enough to where he could hear me. So he would just crash down. Like, Calvin, get up here. Oh shit. Hey, block that guy.
Yeah,
block that guy. And I'm kind of looking at Jake out of the corner of my eye to make sure he sees it and hears it. Man, I faked that ball out there, and Jake's just crashing, and it's wide open. I was like, hell yeah. And then the senior bowl, I was like, Jake, I got your ass. I got your ass.
That Georgia game was phenomenal, man. That was the game where it was like, hey, might have lost to Ole Miss, but Bama's still Bama. You know, like everybody realized, like, we're not going anywhere. After that game, Feinbaum's like always like, when Nick would lose one game, it's the end of the dynasty. These guys are done. And then a country ass whooping would come on somebody, and then the next day, I guess that's like being like on doing this stuff every day. You got to be polarizing, right? So you just got to pretend. You got to just call out the big guy.
Dude, it's like 2022 when let's see, it was Coach Saban's last year, and I remember, he was dogging Alabama. I can't even. What was our record? Who did we lost to somebody, right? Who did we lose to?
We lost to Michigan in the bowl
but during the regular season.
Yeah, we lost to somebody.
But anyway, I remember going on Feinbaum, and I was like, I guess we were going into the playoff, and I was going on his show to talk about us versus Michigan, and and I always, now every time I go on a show, I try to count the amount of times. I think I was like, this is the sixth time Feinbaum says the dynasty's dead. And we're in the here we are in the playoff again.
I do remember that. Who did we? Oh, we lost to. I'm looking at this right now. God, who did we kick?
Was it Tennessee? Tennessee that year?
It won Tennessee. It was.
Not LSU. Not Mississippi State. Not Arkansas. Texas. It was Texas.
Yeah, we lost to Texas 34-24.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I see that right now. I don't remember that though. But normally I remember all the games. Hey guys, let me remind you that we're brought to you by Pearl River Resort, Philadelphia, Mississippi, the Azaleas, the Oaks, 2 amazing golf courses. This is the time of year where you want to get over there. Hour and a half from Tuscaloosa, 2 and change from Birmingham. Bring the family. Geyser Falls, the water park's open. Throw the kids at the water park. Let them do that. You go golf, and then go Philip M. Steakhouse. The text exchange yesterday, everybody was talking about Jake. And then I'm like, I don't think Jake's on this text exchange. Steve Azar had you buying steaks for everybody. And I'm like, I don't see Jake on here. Let me add him to this one. I think they thought you were on there and you were being too quiet, right? You love Philip M's. I love Philip M's. That's the steakhouse at Silver Star. You got great concerts coming up this summer. Clint Black's going to be there on July the 3rd. The table games are amazing. Best slots you're going to find from here to Vegas. And it's affordable, man. I thought the thing I can tell you this, being in Vegas, I've been to Vegas a lot lately. Vegas has turned way too expensive. And if you haven't noticed, like, people aren't going there as much now because they've priced everybody out. Pearl River, affordable. It really is. Like the beers, the drinks, the experience. They got everything you need. So check it out. We appreciate them. You want to watch our commercial? Here, let's watch Fat Mick.
On today's show, 2 legends call their own plays at Pearl River Resort. Wow, Jake's first throw scores. And Steve's got the crowd pumped. They're absolutely rolling.
'Cause I don't have to be me till Monday, Friday, Saturday.
These 2 still got game.
Come call your own plays
At Pearl River Resort. Let's roll.
I don't have to be me till
Yeah, there's the hand slap that started the whole thing.
Hey, you never know what that nudge is going to be. You never know what that nudge is going to be.
That high five had nothing to do with Pearl River. That all it had to do with a guy that was, as you called him, Fat Happy Mick.
No.
We need to get back there soon, though. You guys, we love going there too. Like not only do we like to promote it, but we enjoy it. All right, let me get into a couple things I want to ask you about today. The Congress, the U.S. Senate, like, and I'm not talking about. I know that a lot of people watching are Republicans and Democrats. You know, same thing on the next round, and we're on the next round. Make sure that you like and subscribe. You know, there's different political views on the table that sit there every day. We all have our own political views, but a bipartisan, which means Republicans and Democrats group, are getting together to try to save college sports, the Protect College Sports Act. And it's Ted Cruz, who's a Republican, and Maria Cantwell, who's a Democrat. They're both trying to come up with an antitrust exemption for the NCAA and several rules that have been challenged in court recently that they could pass, and it would limit athletes to transferring to schools just one time without penalty, limiting athletes' ability to a maximum of 5 years. I think that's good. Prohibiting former professional athletes from playing in college. I think that's good. And prohibiting schools from poaching a coach from another school during their sports season, which I think is a great rule, right?
Yeah.
And we know Lane Kiffin is probably the guy that they should put next to that in parentheses, right?
I've heard it called the Lane Kiffin rule, you know?
Right. Yeah. But I mean, look, he's not the only guy. It happens a lot, but it's just that his is the most egregious of those, right? Because he left the team in the playoff to go to that team's arch rival, which I don't know that that's ever been kind of done before, right?
Yeah. I mean,
but what do you think? Can this happen? Can they pull this off?
I mean, I don't know. Look, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know the legality behind it, but I love the attempt at least. You know, one thing about that transfer rule, the 1 year or the one-time transfer without penalty, I think there needs to be a parameter on that to where, you know, that you shouldn't be able to transfer within 2 years of being on campus. I mean, and I've been through it on this show with you before, but you know, I think you know, as a young kid, you make a decision to go somewhere, then you need to at least see it through for 2 years. I mean, I get you may not be playing, which I mean, the old norm was you didn't see many true freshmen playing back in the day when you know you had depth or at the better programs. You know, I mean, again, Marlon Humphrey, redshirt guy, Anthony Jennings, redshirt guys when I was there, and you know, Marlon Humphrey, highest paid DB in the NFL, or at least was, you know, over the last couple of years. Anthony, I think a fourth round pick and still in the league. I mean, there's more, but you know, guys, long term, I think you know, you want to talk about a mental health, doing something good for mental health. Kids need to learn how to adapt to situations. If things aren't good, you know, you got to figure out a way to make it better. You know, at some point, you know, you can't have an out every time you make the wrong decision. And a lot of times, you know, guys make decisions and you want to blame it on the situation you're in, but a lot of times it's just you know, and you're going to be in bad positions. It's not going to be the first time. It's not going to be the last time. As you get older, you realize, or at least for me, you know, the situation a lot of times is what you make it. You know, I mean, you're going to show up with a good attitude and be accountable. And I think really in the grand scheme of things, that's one of the biggest things that's been a problem for the development of players and young men in college is you show up and you just want to leave. You know, I had my ups and downs at Florida State and I think the best thing for me was, to tough it out and make the most of it. And, I that was one of the best lessons I learned was being it. And I loved Florida State, but, on the field at times, I'd get to where I felt sorry for myself and, started thinking maybe I made the wrong decision. But, again, back then you're locked in until you graduate, unless you want to sit out a year.
Right.
And so, I would say my best year at Florida State was my third year, because really between that year and a half mark to 2 year mark is when I locked in and just took accountability for where I was. And it was way more fun when I realized, this is on me, and I can make this a lot better. It changed. I've always been a hard worker. I've always been dedicated. I always felt like I was a good team player, but you can always get better. And again, for me, really taking 100% accountability for where I was has changed my life and my outlook on life. And
Right.
so, again, I think I don't like guys just being able to up and leave. Now, you get one-time transfer without penalty. I guess if you make that transfer early, then you're stuck at your next place. So maybe it all works out. But again, I'd like to see kids, kind of have to stick to their position or stick to their decision, and find a way to be successful.
Well, I mean, and also to have some accountability for the contract that you sign with the school for the investment they're making in you. And it used to be a time and a scholarship investment. Now it's a monetary investment. The school and that needs to be protected too. So a 2-year contract when you come out of high school seems very fair to me. I hope that that's the case. I don't know, or maybe you transfer one time. But yeah, you make some great points. Let me make a point about this right here, guys. That's Patriot Roofing, 205-919-4494. Will and Justin have you covered. Give them a call. They will answer. Free inspections, but they do it all. Not just great roofing work that you can count on, but they're licensed total home builders. Man, they do it all. They do roofing, siding, gutters, windows, and full home renovations. Free inspections. That's right. Patriot, 205-919-4494. We appreciate them for being part of what we're doing. Tuscaloosa and Birmingham, they got you covered. So when you're all these storms are coming through, you want to protect your house, your family, your investment. Got to have a good roof. Check them out, man. It's Patriot Roofing and Builders. All right, a couple things before we get out of here. I was critical of some of the Olympic sports for the amount of money that they were spending without results. One sport I wasn't critical of was softball, because I said, hey, Coach Murphy's always got these guys competing for a national championship. It's been fun watching softball this year. I've known Coach Murphy since he got the job. I can tell by just his demeanor that he's as comfortable and confident with this team as any of his other teams. Does that mean they're going to win a national championship? No. But I can just tell that he really believes in this group. When we're doing the show right now, they beat UCLA in a comeback win 6-3. I hope that gets these guys rolling. I'd love to see them win a second national championship.
Yeah, let me tell you, and this is one of those things. We've talked about multiple sports, but the Alabama softball team, I know Tuscaloosa and the state of Alabama loves pulling for the softball team, and we talk about carve outs and how this NIL stuff and how this structure, really the revenue sharing, is going to affect some of these sports. I do not want to see softball go anywhere. My dad and I, we were texting back and forth watching that UCLA game the other night. It was great watching the go-ahead home run, the comeback. Those girls play with a lot of intensity, and they represent Alabama the right way, and so, again, with all this legislative stuff going on, I would hate to see, and what you're going to see, spring sports those are the sports that are going to go away first if it really comes down to it. and this becomes all about business. I love watching baseball last night. It was, beat them by 3 touchdowns. It was great. Seeing Tuscaloosa light up. But yeah, we're coming to a point in time where all that stuff's going to get looked at, and you hate to see kids that are playing hard for their school, that love their school, especially that women's softball team. I don't want to see that go anywhere.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty funny listening to Kirby Smart talk about, he was worried about Olympic sports. And I'm like, dude, you're making $12.5 million or whatever it is. But you cut that down to $3 million, which is what I think they ought to cap what these football coaches are making. Nick Saban was the only guy worth the money, right? Like he was the only guy, and he raised the bar for everybody else. Like they all, and Kirby's great. Look, I would take Kirby. Honestly, I do think Kirby's worth the $12.5 million. He's worth every dollar of it. But I'm just saying for Kirby, the understudy to the great Nick Saban, like if you're that worried about it, hey, take a $3 million salary and put the rest back in. Come on, man. Like, and then you've been like living off the back of these college football players who haven't been paid, and everybody else. It's like a little disingenuous, in my opinion. But I really do hope that they save the sports. You mentioned baseball. Baseball needed a playoff win, and they got it. They got the perfect setup. Alabama State in their first round game, they won like 21-3 or something. And it was
but here's
that one slam dunk, and maybe this gets them going because they've been bad in the postseason for a long time.
Yeah, I know, but I'm going to take it back to Kirby's point, or to the point you made about Kirby. When I think about college football, though, a college football coach who can build a roster and build long-term success, to me, deserves whatever that school can pay him within reason, and keep those facilities going, and have the personnel to take care of those players. To me, I've always thought it's fair. Pure NIL. We've gotten so carried away with the pay for play stuff. Even the revenue sharing. If I could just, because a coach builds a program, let's be honest. Now, look, Alabama was Alabama before Coach Saban got there, but he took it to a level where it is, anything that happens around that program is a national news story now. And look, before Coach Saban got there, it was not that way. No. It had fallen out of the limelight, let's be honest. It was, look, historically, we've always been proud of Alabama, but it was never, throughout my lifetime, the way it is until Coach Saban showed up and built that program to what it was. And so, and he was, I think everybody would say he was underpaid for what he did for the state, what he did for Tuscaloosa.
Yep.
So, to me, players, and I would include myself in this. I don't care if you're a 5-star guy, whatever. The school and your performance at that school makes you. Without those schools, without those coaches bringing you there, there's not a whole lot of opportunity. But if I've got the opportunity to make money through true NIL, that's all I would ever ask for.
Yeah.
The school, when I was in Alabama, they paid for all your academic, all your tuition. They put you in a room. They fed you like crazy. You couldn't ask for more.
Right.
So if I got the opportunity to just make money, and let's be honest, NIL money, that's easy money for these guys. Endorsements, you post a few things, you show up for a few appearances. You do some commercials. It's not like you're working a shovel 14 hours a day, To me, that's pretty damn fair. And so,
I agree with you.
I think you got to pay the movers and the shakers. Coaches who are out recruiting, building programs into what they are. You want incentive there for those guys to get after it and make the sport better, make their institutions better. I mean, they're the creative ones figuring this out and then putting a product on the field that competes every Saturday and ultimately dominates. I mean, look, playing football at that level was hard. You got surgeries, you got constant workouts. I mean, you go to school. Don't get me wrong, it's hard, but at the end of the day, you're working on your body, and you can focus on making yourself better along with your teammates. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's a team effort, but the amount of moving parts that coaches, ADs, all these guys are dealing with, trying to organize this into a money making machine as well as a good product. I mean, again, those are the creative minds making it happen.
Yeah, great point. Hey guys, let me tell you about this. That is Residence Inn by Marriott Ocean City. Hit that QR code, vote for them, help them continue their dominance, just like Nick Saban. Alabama football, you know about this. Back to back to back to back coastal style hotel of the year. But they're asking our audience, hey, would you guys help us? We're going to continue to do it. Support those guys. They've been supportive to us. Our guy Keith over there, great dude, big Alabama fan right there on the OC coast of Maryland. It is fantastic. You remember when the Next Round did their show there in that beautiful hotel right there in Ocean City. That is a short flight for us, but it's great. Sunsets are awesome. Food's fantastic. Boardwalk's great. Beach. I mean, really, really good beach. Really good beach. And you won't be disappointed. Secrets bar, just a lot of cool stuff there.
And,
all right.
Well, and hey, just one last point to that. Again, I don't want to be all, on the. I am a big backer and believer in the institutions and their creativity. Don't get me wrong. I think that they've been on a money-making machine, and there probably does need to be some changes, but I always did think it was bullshit that you couldn't sign autographs for a little money. If a brand wanted to. That's what it was all about. Right. That's what it was all about. Yeah, if a brand wants to endorse you and pay you to wear their stuff, you should be able to make money off your name. That was always bullshit. But that's where I think it's all fair. If you can get out and you can make money on your own, and look, that comes from effort and success on the field. So there definitely needs to be more freedom. The rules of old with the NCAA were bullshit, but I don't think you got to completely make over the whole system. Of course, it's coming to that due to just the insanity of what's happening right now. But
people taking advantage of it.
Yeah, but I think the legislative process is going to take care of it, and we'll be back to somewhat back to normalcy here pretty soon.
Mm-hmm. Well, look, brother, have a great Saturday. Like where you're at with the studio. Definitely taking steps in the right direction. You guys get in the comment section. What do you think about Coker's studio? Obviously, we got to get him a little better camera angle. I'm in a hotel room.
I'm getting a desk and the couches here hopefully tomorrow or Monday.
Oh, nice. Brett would say, noise.
Yeah,
noise.
We're getting there.
All right, guys, like, subscribe, thumbs up, be a part of the Next Round. Please share our show, too, because since we've gone to the Next Round, a lot of the audience hasn't found us yet. So help them find us. You guys, we appreciate you, and we love you for being part of what we do. We're brought to you by Pearl River Resort. Here's Jake Coker in action.
So, Jake, let's break down some game tape.
Hold on, fellas. Steve.
Hey, Jake, you ready to rock?
Let's roll, brother.
Guess we're calling plays at Pearl River Resort. Wow, Jake's first throw scores. And Steve's got the crowd pumped. Man, they're absolutely rolling.
'Cause I don't have to be me till Monday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I ain't gonna face reality.
I tell you, Jake's still got game. While Steve keeps rocking aces.
Boom! Jake seals it with a pick.
Come call your own plays.
At Pearl River Resort. Let's roll.
I don't have to be me till Monday.